Why most people spend money they don't have, the emotional trap millionaires avoid. Every time you feel stressed, bored, or lonely, your brain already knows exactly what to do. Open an app, add to cart, click buy, and for about 30 seconds, you feel better. But then the feeling fades, the stress comes back, the emptiness returns, and now you have less money than before. This is not a willpower problem. This is not about being irresponsible. This is one of the most powerful psychological patterns in modern life, and it's the reason millions of people earn a decent income and still have almost nothing to show for it. Let me explain what's really happening. When you experience a negative emotion, stress, anxiety, sadness, even boredom, your brain searches for the fastest way to feel relief. And in our world, nothing delivers faster relief than buying something. That new jacket, that upgraded phone, that spontaneous dinner out. It's not really about the thing, it's about the feeling the thing gives you. A brief rush of dopamine, a moment of control in a life that feels chaotic. A tiny escape from whatever you don't want to face. Psychologists call this emotional regulation through consumption, but you and I can call it what it is, using money as medicine. And like any medicine used for the wrong reason, it stops working, but you keep taking it anyway. Here's how widespread this actually is. Studies on consumer behavior consistently show that the majority of purchases people later regret were made during moments of emotional distress, not from careful planning, not from genuine need, from a feeling they wanted to escape. And the modern economy is built to exploit this. Every app on your phone, every targeted ad, every one-click checkout is designed to catch you in that vulnerable window between feeling bad and thinking clearly. The gap between emotion and action used to be protected by time. You had to drive to a store, browse, wait in line. That friction gave your rational brain time to catch up. Now, that gap is gone. You can spend €500 in 4 seconds from your bed at 2 in the morning, and most people do. But the real cost of emotional spending isn't just the money you lose today, it's the future you never build. Let me make this concrete. Say you spend €200 a month on things you don't actually need, clothes you wear once, takeaway you order because you're tired, gadgets that excite you for a week, and then sit in a drawer. That's €2,400 a year. Now imagine you had invested that same amount into a simple global index fund at an average return of 7% after 10 years. That's roughly €35,000. After 20 years, over €100,000. You didn't need a higher salary. You didn't need a side hustle. You just needed to stop spending money to feel better and start directing it with intention. That's the hidden cost no one talks about. It's not just the €200. It's the life that money could have built if you had let it grow. So why don't wealthy people fall into this trap? It's not because they don't feel stress. It's not because they have some superhuman discipline. And it's definitely not because they're stingy. It's because they've built a different relationship with discomfort. Most people feel bad and immediately look for something external to change how they feel. A purchase, a distraction, quick fix. Wealthy people, the ones who actually built their wealth, not inherited it, have learned to sit with discomfort without reacting to it. They feel the stress, they feel the urge, but instead of reaching for their wallet, they pause. And in that pause, they make a different choice. They don't suppress emotion, they process it through reflection, through routine, through habits that cost nothing, but give them everything. A morning walk, a journal entry, a conversation with someone they trust. Movement, stillness, anything that actually addresses the feeling instead of covering it up with a transaction. This is not some mystical ability, it's a skill. And like any skill, it can be learned. But there's a deeper layer to this that most people never consider. Emotional spending isn't just about avoiding pain, it's also about identity. When you buy that designer item or upgrade your car or furnish your apartment with things you can't really afford, you're not just buying an object, you're buying a version of yourself. A version that feels successful, in control, worthy. And this is the most dangerous form of emotional spending because it looks rational on the surface. You tell yourself it's an investment. You tell yourself you deserve it. You tell yourself this is what successful people do. But real financial confidence doesn't come from what you own. It comes from what you understand. It comes from knowing exactly where your money goes, why it goes there, and what it's building for your future. The wealthiest people I've observed don't spend to signal success. They build in silence. and that silence is their greatest advantage. So how do you actually break free from this pattern? Step 1. Start noticing the trigger before the purchase. Every emotional purchase has a feeling that came before it. Stress from work, a fight with someone you love, scrolling social media, and suddenly feeling inadequate. The purchase is never the first event. Something always comes before it. Your job is to catch that something. Step 2. Build a 24-hour rule. When you feel the urge to buy something unplanned, wait one full day. Don't delete it from your cart. Just wait. If you still want it tomorrow with the same clarity, then consider it. But most of the time you won't, because the emotion will have passed. And with it, the urgency. Step 3. Replace the habit, not just the spending. If you remove emotional spending without putting something in its place, you'll feel empty, and the cycle will restart. Instead, find something that gives you genuine relief, movement, creating something, a phone call with someone who lifts you up. The goal isn't to feel nothing, it's to feel something real. Step 4. Give your money jobs before your emotions can. The morning your salary arrives, direct it. Safety first, then growth, then living. If the money already has a purpose before you feel bad on a Tuesday night, it can't be hijacked by a moment of weakness. And step 5, be patient with yourself. This is not a switch you flip overnight. You've been using spending as emotional relief for years, maybe decades. Rewiring that takes time. But every time you pause instead of purchase, you're building something much more valuable than savings. You're building self-trust. Because here's what nobody tells you about wealth. The foundation isn't a strategy. It's not a stock pick. It's not even a budget. The foundation is emotional clarity. When you understand why you spend, you gain the power to choose differently. When you stop reacting and start directing, your money begins to reflect your values instead of your wounds. And 5 years from now, you'll either look back and say, I wish I had started then, or you'll say, I'm so glad I started when I did. The difference is one decision, not to earn more, not to save harder, but to stop using money to escape your life and start using it to build one. If this shifted something in the way you think about money, subscribe, because every video on this channel is designed to remove one more layer of mystery between you and your money. Subtract confusion, add confidence. I'll see you in the next one.